What not to do when selling your home. If you're thinking about selling your home and you're wondering where to spend your money on improvements, then you need to watch this video. I'm going to cover what I don't recommend spending your money on when selling your home. Let's start with the kitchen. We all know the kitchen is the heart of the home. It really depends on the size of your kitchen, but most of the times there are little things you can do to the existing kitchen that make it look brand new, and it saves you a ton of money compared to completely remodeling your kitchen. I will show you some of my listings where we simply painted the cabinets and changed out the hardware, or we put in a new kitchen faucet and we changed out some light fixtures and it looks brand new. There was also a kitchen where it had multicolored tile and we just primed it and painted it with a high gloss white paint and it made it look brand new. Another thing that's worth investing money on is replacing dated appliances. If the property's worth over $1 million, making updates to newer refrigerators that are usually counter depth so they don't stick out in the kitchen, new washing machines that are super quiet, it definitely elevates the kitchen, especially when you're using a quality brand like Bertazzoni or Thermador. It doesn't have the same effect if you use a cheap brand. So if you want top dollar in San Francisco, you really have to go with the quality brand. Okay, another area where homeowners love to spend a ton of money is on bathrooms. And I'm gonna recommend that you do not gut the entire bathroom and throw a ton of money away. When you're selling, I would just recommend giving it a slight facelift if you wanna put some money into the bathroom. I'll show you a couple of bathrooms where we just changed out the vanity, light fixtures, medicine cabinet, or just added new bathroom doors and it looks brand new and we spent maybe $1,500. So you can definitely transform your bathroom without having to gut the entire bathroom and start over. If you're probably going to get about 50% of the return on your investment if you actually completely gutted it. So it looks great with new paint, faucet, medicine cabinet, light, and maybe a vanity. Depends on what's there and what the price point is of the home. I mean, I've had some listings where we just grout the tile and let the buyer spend the money on remodeling the bathroom. So it's something people can factor in when they're making the offer on the property. So I have some clients that are remodeling and they're replacing their doors. And I'm going to tell you, most buyers out there do not have a non-negotiable list that includes high-end doors. It's actually not even something they factor in when making an offer. In high-end homes, I will say they usually have really nice solid wood doors. And if it had cheap hollow doors, it would make the home feel cheap. But in condos, as long as the bedroom has a door, I think that's all that's expected. I mean, it can make the home feel brand new when you replace the hardware on the doors and just do some paint. In San Francisco real estate, they really appreciate the old charm. And I love getting crystal doorknobs just to give it that San Francisco authentic feel. For homeowners out there that have an aging roof, don't replace it unless it's so bad that you can't get insurance on the property, because that will bring the property value down significantly. What I do recommend is hiring a roof specialist to come out and make recommendations on repairing the roof and then certify that it's in good working condition so there's no leaks and there's no problem with getting insurance on your home when you go to sell. So that's definitely something that should be factored in when you're selling. Another question that comes up, especially in older homes, is should I replace the windows? And again, this is really going to depend on the house and how many windows are failing. If it's only a couple windows where it has the seals broken and there's some condensation between the glass and the rest of the house is updated and looks amazing, it's not going to be a deal breaker for the new owner, and they'll know that down the line they'll want to replace those windows. But if it's an old house and everything is failing and you're just going to have to price it for somebody who is most likely going to gut the house and replace everything. So make minor repairs and let the buyer do all the full replacements down the line. If there's anything that's causing water damage or leaking, that will be an issue and you should replace it. Some older properties, the furnaces don't always work. So most people do want heating in their properties, and I would highly recommend that you replace that. Most lenders won't even give a loan on a property without heat. So it's one of the essential things that needs to be done, and buyers will definitely appreciate not having to deal with that. And then you don't have to go with a high-end brand. Most people won't even know the difference. Just replacing the existing furnace will give the buyer peace of mind, and there won't be any financing issues for you to be worried about. Okay, so now I'm going to go over what does give you the biggest bang for your buck when you go to sell your home, so you're spending your money wisely. The number one thing I recommend is paint. When you paint the entire place with a nice warm white, it makes the space feel so much bigger. And it's a nice neutral tone with warm undertones, so it feels nice and cozy, not cold. So like a Benjamin Moore White Dove or Simply White, both are really good like warm whites that you should use. A nice way to add more depth is painting the trim and doors a nice warmer neutral color that's a mix between a gray and a tan, like a grayish. It can make the hardware pop more and adds more warmth to the space. My number 2 recommendation is that you stage the property. Buyers start their search online, and when you're looking at a blank room, they can't imagine what the space would feel like if it were furnished. When the room has good staging, it truly elevates the home. It's going to make a boring room feel so luxurious, warm, and cozy. The goal is to help the buyer feel like they don't ever want to leave. Some buyers even ask if it can come with the furniture they love it so much. So making a first good impression with buyers is critical. And the more they fall in love with the space, they can imagine themselves living there, and the more they're going to be willing to make an offer on it. Another thing that makes the great first impression that you might not even think of is having clean windows. When your windows are spotless, the house is clean, and it's staged, it shows you really care about the house and that they're buying a home that's been loved. And buyers can feel that. It's really gross when windows have cobwebs all over them and they're so dirty you can barely see out them. So cleaning your windows is 100% worth your investment. Also, if you have popcorn ceilings on the ceiling, you should have that removed. And it usually is something the painter can do, so it's not that big of a deal, but it's a great return on your investment because it makes the home feel 40 years younger just by doing that. And my last tip is wallpaper or mirrors. I know there are some really nice wallpapers that are on trend, but I'm talking about old, dated wallpaper or wallpaper that's super busy with bold colors. I've also seen rooms with walls of mirrors on one side, and it's one thing to have a mirror that shows the view, but the entire wall is a little much. So you want everything to be nice, light, bright, and timeless. If you're thinking about selling your home in San Francisco, then reach out today and I can walk through your home with you and make the recommendations to help you make sure you're getting the biggest bang for your buck. I also have plenty of vendors that can help you do the work with these improvements at a very cost efficient way. If you're a homeowner and you're here to get some inspiration on tips for home improvements, I hope you found this useful. And make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to get more tips on buying and selling in San Francisco. My name is Lisa Vukovic. I'm a luxury real estate agent in San Francisco who has been selling in the city for over a decade. I can help you navigate the selling and buying process with ease with my white glove service that makes the whole thing stress-free. So make sure to check out the links below for useful resources and links to get started on home buying or the selling process. Thanks for watching. Until next time.